Okay, so here we go. It is Monday night again, and welcome everybody. We're going to talk about detoxification, and I guess this is the first day of summer. So happy summer! It's the solstice, and I believe it's the full moon tonight too. So a great little celestial happening here. But anyways, welcome, and so we're here to talk about lymphatic detoxification and regeneration of the body, which I believe is the highest form of healing on the planet, and we don't believe in diseases. We believe they're just symptoms of a chemical imbalance in the body, mostly from taking in an acidic diet. We're eating acidic foods. We're not eating the diet we're supposed to eat, which is basically fruits and some leafy greens and roots. So that's it. It's really that simple. And when I look at this and the simplicity of this, I realize that really there is only one disease, if you want to use that term, and that is basically the kidneys not filtering the lymph system and your lymph system backing up. In other words, your sewer backing up in the body, causing all kinds of damage, which manifests itself in many, many ways and is called many, many names by the medical community. And I was thinking this week, you know, that's their world. Their world is of diseases. They name the diseases. They own the diseases. I'm not even supposed to talk about them, unless I give the caveat that it's their deal, not mine. So I never treat diseases. I don't want anything to do with them. And but you can only copyright something that you created. So there's living proof there that they created the whole thing. So if they claim copyright on it, then it's their creation, not ours. So anyways, we don't want to go down that road. We want to stay positive. We want to stay in the light. And nothing is more in the light than nature. Nature is the light. And on the sunniest day of the year, by the way. So anyway, so by switching to a high fruit diet and a raw diet, your life is going to change dramatically. And if you're suffering, you've got to take this seriously. If you're really suffering, you got to go 100% fruit and get this sewer system cleaned out and watch the magic start to happen, which has happened to me. I had so-called fibromyalgia, which is nothing but systemic acidosis or a backed up sewer. My joints were killing me, and I was having to give up the things I love, the sports that I love, and the body movement and the fluidity of the body, which everybody loves. So anyways, this is wonderful. Low-tech technology. It's the lowest tech of all. It's not really even a technology. It's just getting back to nature. So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of what we're learning here and what we're trying to deprogram ourselves. We're trying to deprogram ourselves from the fake kind of unnatural world back to the natural world, and the simplicity of that. Let nature or God, if you will, handle the complexities, and you'll do just fine. So, anyways, let's jump right into some questions here while we get our audience up here. And these are some questions that have come in during the week. And okay, so we have Demetrius writing us in. Hello, Mark. How do I know if only one kidney is filtering? So, as you know, we have two kidneys, one on each side. Most of us are born that way. Some are born with three kidneys. Some are born with one kidney. Go figure. Oh, hi, Bitsy. So Bitsy's here to say hi. Just fed her, so hopefully she calms down. Here she is, camera hogging. All right. So I know Bitsy has a fan club, so she's saying hi. Anyway, so we normally have a kidney on each side. So believe it or not, each kidney handles that side of the body. So I can tell you, you can look in the eyes. Iridology will probably show some more kidney weakness on one side than the other. And also you can look at what's going on. I know myself, my right kidney is definitely weaker, and I have a hammer toe. I thought it was. I remember jumping off a fire hydrant when I was a kid, and I thought I had broken my toe, and the toe never really healed. It's kind of curled up, and I wasn't sure if it was from breaking the toe or what. But after learning more about detoxification and acidosis, I am suspecting that it is an arthritic toe, and I'm going to go after it. I've got to do more to move lymph in my legs and my feet. I've talked about that because I have very acidic feet, You know, I'm a surfer, and walking out on the rocks, it really hurts me. I do this kind of, I don't know, this funky dance trying to get out to the waves on these rocks. It really hurts, and I look kind of goofy. So I'm going to work on that and see if I can actually get that toe to regenerate and go back, because I think it's acidosis down there causing so-called arthritis. So, anyways, there are more problems. I have less hair on this side of my head. Acidosis does take out hair. So once you clear out the acid, your hair will return. You know, some of us have more genetic weakness in the hair department, so we're going to have less hair, especially if we, you know, if we're more acidic, the genetic weaknesses will show up more. So there's certain clues that I need more work on my right side for kidney filtration. So that's one way to tell, Demetrius, just look at the symptoms. Look if there's more things on one side or the other. Look in the eyes, and that will tell you. In detoxification, you know, and taking herbs and going high fruit and all the things we do to, you know, to do this, you can't really target one side or the other. You know, the herbs, we don't have like a right side herb formula or a left side, but there's things you can do, like let's say you could take a castor oil pack, and I've talked about castor oil packs. There's a video on my website on how to do these with some cayenne pepper, and you can do that to help open up those kidneys more on the weaker side. So that's a trick that you could do. So, but anyways, yeah, look at the clues. All right, hope that answers your question. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Thumbelines writes in regarding the lady having a lump on her groin. So I believe that was last week. A woman wrote in about a lump on her groin, and we thought it was you know, a lymph node. There's a lot of lymph nodes in the groin area. I personally had a Bartholin's cyst that was so persistent, my gynecologist said the only solution would be to have an operation and remove the lymph node itself. Okay, you start taking out lymph nodes, you start taking out really important you know, centers of the lymphatic system. The lymph nodes are where you have bacteria, friendly bacteria in the lymph nodes, which helps actually alkalize the lymph. You know, the cells, they all release acids into the lymph just from their normal cellular activity. It's an acidic thing that they actually, you know, poop into the lymph system. And then these acids are carried to the lymph nodes where they're hit with this bacteria, and they're alkalized. Also in the lymph nodes are natural killer cells and T cells and things like that, which destroy pathogens. They destroy cancerous cells, mutated cells. They destroy anything bad that's not supposed to be in there. And the body's super smart at knowing what's supposed to be in there and what isn't. So taking out lymph nodes is taking out your defense. And so I'm, you know, I'm not a fan of just oh, let's just take it out if it's a problem. No, let's clean it out. Okay, but because I'm terrified of surgeries, me too. I tried everything, every alternative treatment I could. Some things did help a little bit, but soon after the treatment was done, I was back to square one. Then I discovered veganism and thought I should give it a try. I had no knowledge about raw eating and the benefits of fruit, but my instincts led me to a high fruit diet. Good instincts. Good, that listening to your instincts, it's good. 2 months later, my cyst was gone. 2 months later. Being on high fruit, that's amazing, fantastic. No surgery, nothing, great. Vanished. I had that bloody thing on me for 2 years. It felt like a miracle. I now study to help other people see benefits in their health as well. Good for you. That's what I did. You know, when I got my remedy through this, I went ahead and said, I gotta spread this knowledge to everybody. This is just amazing. I now study to help other people see benefits in their health as well. In my country, there is absolutely no education on the subject, and I want to thank you and everyone else speaking about the proper detox for spreading the word and helping other people better their lives. Well, thank you, and thank you for joining in. And everybody that finds relief and has this knowledge, spread it out. You know, if you have a good experience with this and you really are healing, and you can help other people heal. It's not difficult to learn. You can even get certified by Dr. Robert Morse. He has a DVD course, and you can actually have yourself a side business or a full business and help other people. Okay. Kim, hi, Mark. I'm a follower of Dr. Morse, and I get it. Good. One question I hope you can clarify. When you guys say get your kidneys filtering, does that mean there is actually a physiological change in the kidneys and how they filter, or is it just that your lymph system is flowing better and coming through your kidneys? Can you explain? Well, it's a combination of both. You know, the kidneys are kind of the doorway out. It's sort of the last filter out of the body. So yeah, so you have to get, you know, if you have stagnant lymph and it's not getting to the kidneys, then the kidneys can't do their job. If it gets to the kidneys and the kidneys are clogged, then you got problems too. So it's a combination of both. Yeah, you know, that's why Dr. Morris in his sort of beginner kits, you know, he has a kit called the Fab Four, the Fabulous Four, and the four are of course kidney herbs to get the kidneys opened up. You know, get the sediment out, get the blockages out, get the inflammation out, and so they can filter the lymph. And then he has lymphatic formulas to help move the lymph, okay? And then stomach and bowel formulas to clean the trunk of the tree, the center of the body, which helps get, you know, it's all a part of getting the lymph moving, okay? And alkalizing the body, that's a key component. And also going after the adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys, which control the kidneys, and the other endocrine glands that are sort of the workhorses of the body that direct things, okay? Direct bodily functions. So, yeah, so it's a combination of both. Moving lymph and getting kidney filtration is really the key. Okay, Kim? Okay, Aphrodite rose quartz. I love it. I love it. This is so clear and easily explained. Tthank you so much. You're welcome. I followed Christina, and I think she's talking about Fully Raw Christina. Fully Raw Christina, she's another one of us. Journey 4 years now, and what I understood is that her goal was really to heal with just fruits, salads, and uncooked veggies. She wanted to do it all natural and see what happened. Okay, and she's had some great results. My interest started when I saw her eye video, and me too. I never thought I had blue eyes. Now, Fully Raw Christina has a video she just released of her eyes. Actually, she thought she had brown eyes, but now they're turning blue. It's a really great video. It's on my website too. But just you know, search in the YouTube you know, search engine Fully Raw Christina eye change. Even though my father mentioned that I was born with blue eyes and very thick black hair, both of them changed in my first baby year. True medication, probably through medication from a sickness, and of course the food I was given, even though my father was for healthy homemade foods, but meat, milk products, and bread, mix of Mexican and German cuisine was our daily food. Yeah, you know, in the beginning, when you're a baby, you don't have any choices. Whatever your parents give you, and I got to tell you, you know, with my daughter, she's 20 now, and thank God she's healthy and she's a vegan now and all that and high fruit, so she gets it. But you know. She was given, I think it was called Enfamil back then, and it was a baby formula, and I cringe. I mean, I can't believe we gave that to her. It was full of high fructose corn syrup and all kinds of chemical vitamins and all that stuff, just horrific stuff. I'm surprised she's healthy, but you know, by the grace of God, she's super healthy, and she's detoxing now. You know, she's doing the work now, so she doesn't have to do this later. You know, as toxins build up as you age. So, yeah, even if you started off bad, you can still change. Earlier the better. And it's best to detox while you're healthy. You don't have to wait till you get sick to really do a deep detox, you guys. You could do a 20, you know, 40-day grape fast just to clear things out and just to reset the whole engine. You know, if you want, you don't have to wait till you're really you know, super sick. Okay, so now I'm starting to see some blue-greenish fibers down and right on the side of my eye, and they changed from chocolate brown to a light brown, and now these fibers looking through all that brown orange stuff. So the brown orange stuff, there's probably some sulfur in there, which is a component. It goes hand in hand with candida. So you're clearing the candida out. You're clearing this brownish lymph, which is just lymphatic stagnation that's been there a while and is changing color. You know, stagnant lymph goes from light, like a white creamy color, Um, and then the levels of brown, and then it can even go, dark brown and even to pure black. So just depending how chronic it is. So you're starting to clear that lymph layer out, which is kind of a layer on the iris of the eye that starts to come out as you detox. And I started my journey as a vegan almost 5 years ago, went raw vegan and fruitarian in exchange since almost 4 years. But in winter, added some cooked foods, and I noticed that in the same time it stopped and even reversed a bit of the healing, especially this winter. So when you came off of the high fruit and the high raw veggie and went cooked, it stopped it. And then it reversed the healing. So I guess it started to add more lymph back in the iris. So your irises are responding very quickly. I could see it because I had horrible, huge brown spots all over my face. One spot was the size of my cheek, for example, dark brown. When I went raw and fruitarian, they went away to a shadow that seems I was the only one to see it. And this winter, after the cooked food and some Christmas cookies, they lightly came back. So her body's really responding, not only in a good way, but a bad way. So, some of us respond slower and quicker, but this is really amazing that you're seeing the changes that quick. This year I found the Dr. Morse channel, and today yours, learning like an owl, everything and doing this regenerative detox 3 weeks now. More than 75% fruits, salads, and herbs. Today I realized that the structure of my face skin is changing, so soft. Well, beautiful. So you were intuitively following this, and now you've actually seen the Dr. Morse, who's been doing this 47 years and has the clinical experience, of detoxing so many people to give us really great knowledge, and I'm getting more experience as I go, but nowhere close to him. So thank God we have Dr. Morse as our teacher, and that he's given us this wonderful technology. So good. These are a couple great stories here. So I hope this gives you inspiration, you guys, that this does work and to carry on and to really benefit. Now that we're into the summertime, this is the time when we can get all the great fruits. It's warm out. We're a lot more likely to consume the fruits, and the smoothies and the fruit salads and all that, and the raw veggies, during the hot months. So now's your time to really dig deep, you guys, and really really go for it. So yeah, summertime's a great time. Watermelons are really good right now out here in California, by the way. Okay, so Benny, I been having a stubborn herpes infection for several months now and canker sores for weeks. Now I've turned to a raw lifestyle with fruit and veggies only. I guess it takes time to kill the virus. Yeah, the viruses, especially herpes are very tricky. They know how to hide, okay? And they can go dormant for years and even decades. So, yeah, you want to, of course, you want to get the kidneys filtered, and you want to move the lymph system, and you want to dig deep. You want to keep going and going and going and get down to the real, fine layers of detoxification in order to get, especially the herpes out. Take the parasite M, Dr. Morse's, microparasite killer, okay, and that'll help as well. Yeah, do a liver flush as well, and really hit it hard on the detox. These viral loads, they have a hard time activating themselves in a alkaline environment. So when you hydrate and alkalize the lymphatic system through the herbs and the high fruit, these viral loads will have a hard time even doing anything, and then eventually you'll get them out. So it takes a while. A lot of people notice, when they eat pineapple, which is notorious for being acidic because they pick them so early, and kiwis, another notoriously acidic fruit, that they can have flare-ups of especially canker sores and mouth herpes, when they do that. That's just acids. It just activates, the acids will activate these things. So stay alkaline, alkalize, detox, and you'll get rid of that, okay? Would you recommend a grape fast? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have organic grapes, so is it still okay to fast on grapes only? Yeah, just wash the heck out of them with a veggie wash, and really try to get all the pesticides off that you can. I know organic grapes are sometimes hard to come by. I just got some cherries that were so wonderful. They weren't organic. Hard to find organic cherries, but they were really good. I just veggie washed the heck out of them. Um, mm, mm, mm. All right, so Dr. Morse always says, don't let that get in the way. Get grapes. He says he's even detoxed people with serious illnesses on Walmart grapes. Okay, but just veggie wash the heck out of them. Okay, faded twilight. I have many of those lines in my eyes. Okay, this is a comment from an iridology video on those nerve rings. They're kind of circular lines in the eyes. I started wondering why I didn't see them in other people's eyes, so I looked it up. I also do have nearly every symptom associated with it. Okay, so the symptoms associated with those nerve rings are neurological weakness, and that could mean all kinds of things. It means your adrenals are down. You got to perk up those adrenals. And we know that the adrenals are responsible for making steroids to counter acids in the body. So if you're acidic and your lymph is not moving, and they also make neurotransmitters. They actually control the adrenal, the kidneys. So they go hand in hand with everything. Any kind of neurological symptom like ADHD, anxiety, chronic fatigue. The list goes on and on, the symptoms. So nerve rings, it's a sign you really got to work on that nervous system. Get the adrenals up. There's herbs to do that. There's also glandulars. If you have lower blood pressures below 105, you can take the adrenal glandulars, okay? 400s are the most powerful. 200s are if you're around 110 on the upper number blood pressure. Under 105, you can do the 400s. But licorice root is good. Dr. Morse has some adrenal formulas, all that kind of stuff. So work on those adrenals. No one's ever happy when their nervous system goes down. Leads to things like so-called MS and Parkinson's and all those things. So many things are regulated by those little walnut-sized glands sitting on top of the kidneys. Okay. Okay. So Marty writes in, can I take the kidney formula without a lymph formula? Can I take a kidney formula without? You could do that. I mean, that's going to help the kidneys open up, but like I said, if the lymph isn't moving to the kidneys, then what do you got? They go hand in hand. You got to make sure the lymph is moving and the kidneys are filtering. That's why Dr. Morse has in combination the kidney and the lymph formulas. All right. So Kelly writes in answer to our question before, weakness on the right side can be an indication the liver, gallbladder are weak and in congestion, putting pressure and a burden on the right kidney for your information. Well, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Yeah, I definitely have the right side weakness. I wonder, that's a good food for thought. Do more people have a right side weakness in their kidney because of the liver and gallbladder? It's interesting. There's possibly a good correlation there. Thanks for bringing it up, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, I want to talk to what Kelly found out. She released a Facebook post today. It was really interesting. She has really embraced this high fruit diet and loves it, and found some fruit chips, so she can get the I think they're plantain chips if I recall, but she can stay on fruit and still get the crunchiness and get her crunch fix. So. Anyways, that's neat. If you want to tell us what that brand, I think it was Inca or something like that. Tell us more about that on the post here, okay? All right, good. All right, so we're going to continue on here with the questions. We're ripping through this, okay? So yeah, take the kidney and the lymph formula together. You'll be happy. If you can't get kidney filtration, work on those adrenals. Always clean the GI tract. All right, Eddie Parino. Both my dad and my grandfather had diabetes. My grandpa lost his leg and his life from it. Man, so sorry to hear that. oof, I'm trying to avoid it. So I was understanding that I had to drop the bread and sugar, uh, which included the sugar in fruit. So you're saying I should eat a bunch of fruit regardless of the sugar content, and it won't spike insulin and keep me fat and susceptible to diabetes. Well, okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so this is one of the biggest fears, um, especially people with blood sugar issues. Okay, and that's what diabetes is. They just give it this name. All right, so you have blood sugar issues. You have a history of it, a genetic weakness. Okay, it's a genetic weakness of the pancreas, genetic weakness of the adrenals, or both. All right, so the thing about fruit is, and I on my website you'll see a Harvard study that shows. I talk about this every show because it's so important. It shows the glycemic index of foods, right? And the glycemic index is how fast your blood sugar is raised by eating a food, okay? And it also shows the glycemic load. The glycemic load is how much your blood sugar is raised. And it takes a bunch of different foods, a serving size. They tried to approximate it the best they could, one single serving size, okay? A single serving size of white rice had a 44 on the glycemic load. That's how much in reference it raised the blood sugar. A peach, a pear, a plum, an apple, an orange had a 4 or a 5. So 10, 11 times more sugar, effective sugar in that rice than in the fruit. So fruit is very low in respect to raising your blood sugar, believe it or not. Can you go ahead and make a 32-ounce, raw food smoothie and suck it down, and have a bunch of those and not spike your sugar? Of course. You have to do this within reason, all right? But it's very, very hard to, especially with the whole fruit, to really rate. I mean, you'd have to eat 11 oranges, instead of a bowl of rice to get it up that much. So that kind of gives you an example. And what happens is with the fruit, it's the right kind of sugar. The fructose does not require. Now, there's a little debate on this. Some say a little bit of insulin, but a lot of people say no insulin at all. The fruit requires little or no insulin from the pancreas to get it into the cells. Okay, so it doesn't really have to tax the pancreas. All right, so when you're taking in a big load of a carbohydrate like a rice, like a white rice, you're going to really pound that pancreas. Okay, so which I believe is really the cause. You're burning things out. You're overworking them. You're causing inflammation, acidosis, all kinds of things in these tissues because they're just not being treated correctly. All right, and you're probably not filtering and all those wonderful things too. So yeah, so fruit really is the answer because it cleans these organs out, it keeps them functioning well, and it's not super glycemic. All right, and Dr. Morse is, the first thing they do at the clinic, type 1 or type 2, they get you to convert over to fruit. And when people even go back to veggies, they can have some blood sugar issues until this thing is really, until the organs are completely detoxed, and brought up to speed. So that's sort of I know it really is counterintuitive to how we're thought, but nothing raises the blood sugar more than these complex carbohydrates, these starches. These starches are really, really super glycemic. Your pastas, your breads, all that kind of stuff. So just because it tastes sweet does not mean it's going to raise your blood sugar as much as something that's not very sweet. I think it was a bagel, like a plain white bagel was just another huge one, 25, something like that on the glycemic index. Oatmeal, the same kind of thing. And so yeah, I got to watch these things, okay? All right. So yeah, but transition slowly. Don't bring it over slowly. Watch those blood sugars in the beginning when you're switching over, and and watch some of Dr. Morse's videos on this. You can go to rawfigs.com, type in blood sugar diabetes, and watch what's going on and learn to navigate this, okay? I know it's counterintuitive. It's a little hard to get a hold of, and it's a little scary, but that's how they do it. And Marcy, you know, one of the top detox coaches over at Dr. Morse's office, is a type 1 diabetic and was on insulin for 30 years or something like that. And she knows all about this and how fruit is really, really helpful. Okay, John, going to a spa and sweating in the sauna, steams, etc. I bet that's great for the lymph. Yep, it is. It's good for the skin because you know the skin's a third kidney. It's going to help get toxins out. Why don't you and Dr. Morse talk more about spas? Well, you know the thing is that you know going to a spa. Let's say that your kidneys are backed up. You know the lymph's not filtering, and you know it's kicking it out to the skin. You've got psoriasis. You've got you know eczema. You've got acne. You've got rosacea. All these things, boils, pimples, cysts, all this kind of stuff. These are all lymphatic issues. It's going to help take some pressure off the kidneys. It's going to help you move toxins out of the body, but it's not really the answer. The answer is to get kidney filtration and to move lymph. Okay, that's the real answer. Okay, so yeah, we talked briefly about it. It's a good thing to do, but you got to really go after the real problem. Okay, all right. John is curious about what diet Itsy Bitsy is on. You know, Itsy Bitsy, I get her. I actually was getting her a vegan dog formula, but I went to go pick it up at the pet. It's a kind of a specialty pet shop. They have it's huge. It's great. It's called the Wharf, and they do horses and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't have it anymore. I said, "How come you don't have it?" They said, Nobody wanted it." So I guess I got a special order it. But I get her on something without any grains. You know, zero grains. There is some meat in it and some veggies and all that, but no grains. A lot of dog foods and cat foods are getting rid of the grains because they know how acidic it is, and they know how it you know, and dogs especially can have a lot of kidney issues. You know, I've seen dogs passing away of cancer and things like that, which are you know a sign of too much acids, of course. So yeah, so the grains are really the culprit there. Grains are very acidic, and as we talked about, they're highly glycemic. All right. Mm-mm. All right. Okay. Here is Dave asking, how can I bring up a low sperm count? All right. Okay. So. So the sperm is manufactured in the testicles. Okay, so if the testicles are inflamed, if they're acidic, if there's acidosis, inflammation in those, they can't function properly. You're going to be down. If the adrenal glands are not working, of course you don't have enough antacid steroids to come in and fight the acidosis. Therefore, you get inflammation. Also, you don't have. They produce hormones as well. They produce. They produce some progesterone, which counters testosterone. Testosterone is acidic, so you need progesterone to help fight the acidity of the testosterone. So that could cause inflammation as well. If you're a high meat eater, a high grain eater, a dairy eater, you've got an acidic diet. You're causing inflammation throughout the body. If you don't have kidney filtration, you're going to back up. It's going to back up into the prostate, right? And this inflammation kind of spreads around there. This acidosis kind of spreads around in this area. So the answer, of course, is to get rid of the inflammation, the acidosis, get the kidneys filtering, get back on an alkalizing diet, high fruits, high raw veggies, mostly fruits. You know what? If you guys got a problem you need to take care of immediately, don't mess around. Get on 100% fruit as quickly as you can. It may take you a little bit to turn the adrenals around, turn things back on a little bit, but get on as high a fruit, ramp it up as quickly as possible to 100%. Summertime, get to a 40-day grape fast. This is gonna really heal you down to really high levels. So do the best you can on that and really hit it hard. And the good news is things closest to the kidneys, when the kidneys start filtering, are the things that clear out the first. So the testes are going to clear out the first. You know, the inflammation is going to leave the prostate, the bladder, and the testes quicker than, let's say, the head or the feet, which of course are my problem. Anyway, you also can take some. Dr. Morse has some male reproductive formulas to help. You may be low on testosterone. You could have, you could still have low testosterone and still have acidosis from testosterone without any progesterone. So, but a lot of guys that are high testosterone really get a lot of acidosis too, more susceptible to prostatitis and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, yeah, get on some herbs and detox, and then you could try some lower circulation herbs with Dr. Morse and male reproductive formula to help boost the testosterone if you think it's low testosterone. You could get some blood work done and confirm that. It'll show you if you have low testosterone. It'll also show your PSAs, which will show if you have a lot of acidosis in the prostate, so which could make you more susceptible to so-called cancer. Okay, so good luck on that. Detox, alkalize is, it's funny how it's pretty much always the answer, isn't it? So, so Kelly writes in, those are called Inca chips, INKA. I posted the video on my fledgling YouTube channel. All right, so Kelly's got a YouTube channel coming up. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, mine started small. I mean, I was happy when I got my first 100 views, and now I think I'm 410,000 views or something like that. So, yeah, it's crazy. It starts building. It's like a snowball rolling down the hill. It'll take forever to get that first bit, but then it'll start taking off. Okay, Kelly, Amrit is my YouTube channel, FYI. I'm just getting it started. All right, so let's all support Kelly. All right, post a link up there, and we'll come and support you. I'll put you on. I'll subscribe to you. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So here we go. What would cause an increase of fluids discharge from the bowels? I have a friend just started a detox with a short bowel, no colon, and missing half of the small bowel. Too much water drinking along with fluids. Inflammatory response. He has paralysis of the bowel before, indicating sulfur. He used a lot of antibiotics in the past. I'm guessing he's very acidic and moving mucus along with toxins with an inflammatory response. Increase of fluids discharged from the bowel. Wow, this is interesting. I mean, I'd have to know what kind of fluids they are. Are they like a mucousy fluid? Is it like a lymphatic type fluid? It's probably mucus. Mucus is there to protect you from acid. Sometimes when we go into a detox, and you're missing part of the bowels here too, so there was probably some kind of IBS, Crohn's, something like that, which is acidosis in the bowel walls. So the body's protecting itself with mucus. As you detox, you're going to start stirring the pot. Basically, you're going to kick up acids. They're going to be causing an inflammatory response, which is the mucus. I think you talked about this, and then it's going to you're just be kicking out mucus. I know, like I talked about my detox I just went through with the lungs. I kicked up a lung detox. I uncovered some acids. I did some deep detox down into the lungs. Didn't think I had lung issues. I was born with asthma. I got rid of that by the time I was 10 or 11. But I kicked up something latent there, and just mucus after mucus after mucus. You kick up the acids. The body hits it with mucus to protect itself from the acids. So, so that's what's happening most likely. But I'd have to see, get a description of the fluids. But that's most likely what's happening. Okay, JD writes, does the liver detox the lymph system? Well, the liver is really not a filter, lymphatically. The kidneys are where that happens. A lot of people think the liver is this big filter. It really isn't. It's a chemical factory. And it is a detoxifying organ in the way that it makes chemicals that help bind things so it can be cleared out of the body. But the spleen is responsible for detoxing the blood, by the way, and the kidneys too. But yeah, the liver is more of a chemical factory. But it's important, that at the start of a detox, Dr. Morse's first kit contains some liver herbs, and you want to do a liver detox too if you haven't done that in a while. Kelly's the expert on that. She's coming on next week, by the way, to help us, and we're going to talk a lot about the liver. and she's going to give us great tips on that next week. All right. Um, all right. So, okay. So the next question is from Alice: is a tomato a fruit or a veggie? Okay. So, all right. So anything that a plant or a tree bears is considered a fruit. So I guess a walnut could be considered a fruit too. I guess I don't know, but you know, cucumbers and tomatoes would be considered fruit. Squashes, avocados, olives, peppers. Those are all fruits. You know, we kind of call them our veggie fruits, but they're fruits. Okay. Um, no root could ever be considered a fruit, and single plants like lettuces and kales and all that kind of stuff are a veggie. But anything that bears, you know, that a tree bears or a plant bears is going to be a fruit. Okay. Yeah. You can still be on a fruit diet with olives and avocados, but they're kind of high fat, so you want to really limit that. We don't do so well with all these fats. Um, okay, so millions. This is from Natural News. I wanted to just comment on this. Millions of pounds of rat meat were sold as chicken in the U.S., Natural News uncovered. I mean, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it. I mean, I can't believe that a company would allow rat meat to, you know, just looking at the bottom line profit, trying to cut some corners, would sell rat meat. So, you know, if you're a meat eater, you might have eaten some rat down the road and not even known it. You know, they always say, oh, what does it taste like? It tastes like chicken. So I guess they figured that out. I know that they were selling a while back. They were selling stingray and you know bat ray and skate meat as scallops. I guess they have a little punch and it would punch it out like a round scallop, and they were selling that and got caught. So you never know what you're getting. I mean, I always tell my Jack in the Box taco story when I was a kid. I mean, go to Jack in the Box and I didn't know anything about food. I thought if it tasted good, we'd eat it. So 2 for $99, you get 2 tacos, and they would deep fry them along with the lettuce, cheese, and this paste. It was like a pate, a paste of I don't know what that stuff was, but they deep fry the whole darn thing, and then they'd throw it in the bag and they'd hand it to you. And by the time it got in the bag and into your car, there was grease coming out through the bag, so it was just super greasy. But I don't know what that meat was. But you know, Jack in the Box is owned by Ralston Purina, or was, which is a dog food company. I don't know. I don't eat meat anymore, thank God. I don't know what they're doing, but rat meat for chicken. I mean, think twice about what you're eating. You know, jeez. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so Connie writes in, thank you for your insights. I'm a 63-year-old woman. I've been on Dr. Morse's protocol for 11 months for severe debilitation, multiple organ shutdown, weak parathyroid, thyroid, kidney and bladder, and pancreas. So you've got multiple organs and glands down. So I would have to throw in the pituitary gland too. The pituitary is up in the head. It's the master gland. I got to throw that one in there too. You're hitting them all here. Because if you have multiple down, we got to look at the master gland. I was pre-diabetic and full of systemic candida fungus and suffer from anxiety, panic attacks. So that's adrenals, memory loss. Okay, that is acidosis in the head causing plaquing, cholesterol plaquing, um, dull brain function. You know, just to say, cholesterol, when your adrenals are weak, the body, its main antacid becomes cholesterol. Okay, so the cholesterol starts plaquing everywhere in the body, gets up in the head. And I see so many people in their 50s and 60s, and they're clearly slowing down mentally. It's just so sad. I hate seeing it. I hate seeing it. It can be all detoxed out. And we don't even want to get to the point where we have to even do this, because we can hit it before we get there. And anyways, so I'm on a higher fruit diet. That's great. Mostly raw, fantastic. But have not been able to give up meat completely. Okay, do the best you can. I am much better from when I began the protocol. I am able to work some. One of the problems is that I am gaining weight. I thought I would lose weight on this diet, which is very different from my standard American diet, but I'm after initially losing weight, I'm back weighing more than I ever had. And I'm normally a slim 5'7" person. What is happening? Why am I gaining weight? Should I stop eating so many grapes? I did not think calories were a problem on fruit. Very puzzled. Thanks for your help, Connie. All right, so yeah, you got multiple things going on here. For all you people that are having weight issues, 90% is going to be weak adrenals. Adrenals are where you know the sugars are metabolized. So if you have weak weak metabolic function in the adrenals, it's going to store. Okay, it's going to store those calories. So you want to get the adrenals up. You got to check those blood pressures. You want to get that upper number up around 120. Okay. Um, and also you're mentioning thyroid issues. Thyroid is metabolism. A weak thyroid is you have slow metabolism. You're not gonna be burning efficiently. So really, but adrenals is really where it's at. You guys are gaining weight. So detoxification is the answer, and getting on some adrenal herbs. You know, I talked about the adrenal glandulars and all that. So concentrating. But again, get on high fruit. Get on the herbs. Build up those glands. Get the kidneys filtering. I don't think we talked about if you're filtering or not. That's the number one thing we have to talk about always. In fact, when you guys write in, always give me an idea of how you're filtering, if you're getting filtration, how long you've been filtering. This is really the key to everything, you guys. Like I say, it's the only real true disease out there is non-filtration. So anyways, yeah, all these things, all these neurological signs, weak adrenals, the weight issues is adrenals. Everybody having the weight problems, it's a glandular issue, mostly adrenals, okay? So get that up. I mean, everybody's got weak adrenals, it seems, okay? So really concentrate on that. But you got to get kidney filtration too, all right? But lots of great herbs for the adrenals. You know, like I was talking about the licorice root, I talked about the Siberian ginseng, ashwagandha, rhodiola. There's a ton of them. Dr. Morse has specific formulas, and there's the glandulars to help you. Okay, so these are here for us. If you're vegan, of course you can't do the glandulars, but we have lots of tools to help us. Okay, and I know Dr. Morse even recommends sometimes piggybacking the adrenal glandulars with some adrenal herbs like licorice root. Okay, provided that you don't have high blood pressure. That's a caveat on that. Okay. All right. So Linda, I was on a 20-day grape fast. Was putting on weight, water weight, kidneys and lymph not filtering. This could be edema? This could be edema here. So 20-day grape fast, putting on water weight. Yeah. Again, you know, you got to get the kidneys filtering. You know, you really do. The grape fast is going to be very astringent. It's going to be very alkalizing to the lymph system. But if the kidneys aren't filtering, it's blocked there. So you got to get on. You know, I would suggest don't do a 20-day grape fast until you really got some filtration, you guys, because you're going to move lymph with that. All right. So get on those herbs and you know, at least on Dr. Morse's first kits. He's got a 14-week protocol. Get on the first month of those kits, weeks 1 through 4, and that will set you off on a detox and hopefully some kidney filtration. Okay. And of course, if you're putting on weight, work on those adrenals too. All right. So lots of people, especially women, you know, especially women have got the glandular issues and the weight issues. Um, um, a lot of hormonal imbalances happen. Women are more complex hormonally than men, so it's yeah, but really focus on those adrenals again. Okay, and all right, so let's come over here and see what questions we have. So Kelly's talking about her YouTube channel. She's creating sections right now. Great. Absolutely. So she'll have a great resource, you guys. Hopefully a lot of great information on the liver. Okay, so Tenzin Kahu. Hi, I've done 30 plus liver flushes and it's pretty cleansed out by now. I would think so. However, the kidneys are still not filtering. Yeah, liver flushes and kidney flushes are two separate things. I know some herbs do flush both out, but the kidneys, yeah, if your adrenals aren't happening, you know, you're going to have a hard time getting kidney filtration. If your lymph is not moving, you're going to have a hard time too. I got the adrenal tincture. Should I also get the capsules and those for the kidneys? All right, so yeah, all right. So the standard herbal protocols to get the kidneys off and going and the lymph off and going is a kidney tincture and a kidney capsule. They work together. They work a little differently each one, and then a lymphatic capsule. All right, a stomach and bowels formula, and then an endocrine gland formula, either an endocrine balance, and you could throw in an adrenal formula like you have there too on top of that, or some licorice root. Okay, yeah, if you go to my site or Dr. Morris's site, look at the Fab 4 kit, or look at the first 4 weeks of the 14-week detox protocol. I believe it's kidney number 3 tincture and kidney number 1 capsules to start off with. But check that out, double check. Okay, so good luck, and yeah, you got the liver detox now. Get the kidneys filtering, get the lymph moving, get the GI tract clean, and get the glands up. Okay, and you're going to be off and running. Get on a high fruit diet, and stay as raw as you can, and you will kick in a nice, lovely detox and start regenerating. Okay, so Kelly writes back, a liver gallbladder congestion can also be a big issue. Oops, sorry, big issue with thyroid, weight gain, hormonal issues, etc. Goes hand in hand with the kidneys, lymph, and adrenals. All right, so Kelly has been seeing weight gain with the liver gallbladder congestion. Yeah, that's why we always want to do a good liver gallbladder detox in the beginning of the detox, also a flush. And Dr. Morse has a flush up. I have it up on my site. It's basically a lemon juice and olive oil flush. You can do some phosphate liquid from Standard Process. It helps soften the stones. Kelly can tell you more about that. We're gonna really get into that next. Yeah, she likes the Andreas Moritz flush personally, and we'll talk to her next week about why she likes that one. So that's great. So yeah, let's get that liver online and get the chemicals up to help us detox as well. Okay. Um, all right. So yeah, Andres Moritz has great info on function of the liver gallbladder related to health issues. I don't have that kind of in-depth info on my channel yet, but I will be adding some of his stuff soon. Kelly, does Andreas have some YouTube videos on that? I'd like to know. But we can just Google that and find out more about that. But yeah, as far as detox goes, yeah, let's definitely focus in the very beginning on that. Okay. I just want to take a note that there's all kinds of fake fruit out there, because fruit has such just an inherent. People love it. Fruit is so joyful. And I was listening to Dr. Morse today. He has a new video out. And someone asked him about apple cider vinegar, and a lot of people love it, and they put it in their water, and they think it's alkalizing like lemon juice and all that, and there's supposed to be so many benefits of it. He was poo-pooing all of that. He's basically saying it's fermented. There's no reason to put fermented, decaying foods in the body. And he says, look, if you're detoxing, don't do it. I mean, if you're already detoxed and you're feeling good, a little bit in your salad dressing is not going to kill you. But he doesn't recommend it for detox, or any fermented foods, by the way, 0. Okay, just so you know. So no kombuchas and yogurts and all these things. No probiotics, none of that. So he's not a fan of any of that. All right. He's a natural guy. Likes to keep it simple. Likes to let nature do its work. Okay, by putting the right chemistry into the body, the chemistry we're supposed to eat, which is fruit, and some tender leafy greens and roots, and some nuts and seeds and things like that. So, but keep it raw, keep it high fruit. But we have. I just kind of make a quick list stuff they had of things that I ate as a kid, or maybe even longer than that. But Fruit Loops, God, I used to love those things. They used to actually turn my milk a little bit orange. They had weird colors, man. I don't know where they're getting those colors. I don't want to know. But fake Sunny D, Sunny D is, I think, what did I see over at smart and finally and get a huge gallon of Sunny D for I think under $3 or something. I don't know what's in that stuff, but it's certainly not real. Apple Jacks, Captain Crunch with crunch berries. They would actually look like little blueberries in there. Tampico, Orange Crush, all kinds of Kool-Aids with all these fancy tropical fruit flavors. Strawberry soda. Who remembers Pixie Sticks? Those long straws with the fruit flavored sugar in there. I don't know what was that stuff. Real tangy. Fruit roll-ups. Why not just give the kids some fruit? I mean, my gosh. One of the great things to do this summer is if you have kids, or even for us, take a smoothie, whip it up in your NutriBullet or your blender, and then get those little form things to make your popsicles, and just you'll have like a beautiful fresh, fruit popsicle, and you can just pull those out of the freezer anytime you want. And freezing really does not damage the enzymes of the fruit, so you're getting high nutrition, and you're kind of faking yourself. It's kind of a fake out. I talked about this before. You can do little fake outs to stay high fruit and high raw. I was well, I take these rice tortillas from Trader Joe's. I know they're not raw, but it's a small cheap. And I put them in quarters and I toast them, and then I smear avocado on there. I'll sprinkle some olives, some diced tomato, whatever I have, and it'll look like a little mini pizza, and I'll have that. So yeah, these little ice cream pops are a fake ice cream. So these are wonderful. All right. Um, so anyway, yeah, there was tricks for kids. I guess they found wood pulp in the fake Parmesan cheese. I mean, there's all kinds of fake food out there, guys. Just try to stay natural. Try to stay out of the boxed or canned aisles, and especially those frozen dinners and all that kind of stuff, and you'll be fine. Uh, Incidentally, my daughter used to work at California Pizza Kitchen here in California. I think they're all around the country now, but I used to think they were really great. They had one of those nice brick pizza ovens, and they would do these pizzas. I thought they were fresh, and I thought the food was good back when I was eating that kind of stuff. And it was, when she worked there, she's told me, Dad, everything comes in from corporate. I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, the salad dressings come from corporate. They come in a big box that has a plastic bag liner in it. And they pour it out. All the soups are made in corporate. All the sauces, all the tomato sauces for the pastas and pizzas are all made in corporate. Everything's corporate. And I hear it's the same with the Olive Garden. It all comes in from corporate, and they basically they're just heating it up, or browning it or whatever. So these kind of big chain restaurants, be careful. These are just, in my view, these are just one step up from getting a lean cuisine at the market. And you're paying a lot more, and in a lot of them, Olive Garden has that all-you-can-eat stuff. So not the place you want to be. All right. Okay. All right. So Andreas Moritz is his channel. Okay, so he has his own YouTube channel. All right, good. Watch out for dried fruits too. Yeah, they got sulfur on them. They have color preserved with sulfites. Yeah, the dreaded sulfites that Dr. Morse talks about. It's fake fruit. Yeah, be careful with that for sure. Definitely read the labels, you guys, on that. I love Trader Joe's. I can usually get some good raisins and dates and things there without any sulfites. Is raw honey good on a detox? Really not necessary, Harrison. Yeah, raw honey's it's not gonna hurt you. It's not detoxifying. It's gonna give you, the sugars. But I would say if you're trying to do a serious detox, I wouldn't use it. Stick with your fruits, okay? But it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay. Uh, all right. So let's see. Okay. I wanted to talk about a. Hold on, let me find it here. Okay, so I wanted to talk about neurotoxicity. And I was reading up that, okay, so wheat, okay, wheat is something we're not really supposed to be eating. It's a grain and all that. It's sort of a compromise, you know. Like I talk about, we are fruit eaters, but we moved from our homeland, the tropical arboreal forest where we're from, and we had to go out and adapt to different foods. Okay, so wheat is an easy source of calories, right? It's an easily grown grain in the colder climates. It's become a staple food. But what's interesting about wheat is that there are people that, like myself, that are gluten intolerant. And from what I'm hearing, in the 70s, they actually changed the protein of the wheat. Okay, they went and manipulated it to get more protein yield out of the wheat. Okay, and this caused it to form an allergic reaction in the body to certain people. I believe a lot of people have. They don't know it. And one thing that was happening to me when I ate it is that I would get super, super tired. And I think a lot of people get this. I know back when I was married, we had big pasta parties, dinner parties. And really, a lot of people got super tired after that and just wanted to be on the couch. So, and I had believed that, I had read that wheat is a neurotoxin. It sort of, shuts you down a little bit. So if you're trying to keep a lot of brain activity going and trying to stay on your game for as long as possible throughout the day, you want to avoid these kinds of things, okay? Fruit will supercharge your brain, by the way. Fruit is the highest of the neurological foods. So there's nothing higher than that. It will supercharge you. So stay high fruit, and if you want to slow down later in the evening, have yourself some veggies or steamed veggies even. But sometimes in the wintertime, I like to have a baked sweet potato. Those are wonderful. They're grounding, the roots are grounding. Sweet potatoes are anti-inflammatory versus the regular potatoes, which are a nightshade, which are inflammatory. Just so you know that. Okay. Um, um, One thing I wanted to also mention is that Dr. Morse was explaining about, a lot of people are really, they're afraid of so much sugar, okay, and fruit sugar, like we talk about in, just all the time. What happens is that sugar, we're a carbon-based species, so sugar is our carbon, much like gasoline is the carbon for the automobile, right? So you take carbon and you mix that with oxygen. So we have the carburetor, right, or the fuel injector to mix the fuel with the oxygen. Okay, so that's how we get fuel from the body. So the fructose is just a simple carbon. That's all it is. So it gives us pure energy. Like I say, doesn't need insulin to get into the cells and all that. So it is a superior carbon. It's the carbon that we're meant to consume, all right? Starch is way too much sugar. Like I said with that Harvard study, way too much. It overloads you. Okay, it's going to cause all kinds of problems, all right, including inflammation. So I just wanted you to know how that works, okay? And the same thing with proteins. Proteins are like starches are too much sugar. Proteins are too much amino acids, okay? Fruit has got the right balance of amino acids. We talked about this last week, how mother's milk, which is designed for babies in a huge growth stage, has less than 1% protein, all right? And fruits have got very, very low amino acid, protein, um, content as well. High protein is a myth. We don't need it. Okay, I just wanted to reiterate on that. Okay, um, all right. Kelly saw somewhere that your kidneys may still be filtering even if you don't see sediment, cloudiness in the morning urine, but I can't remember where I saw it. Is this true? Um, I don't think so, unless, sometimes unless you're really good at looking, you take a flashlight, turn off the bathroom light, take a flashlight, powerful flashlight, and shine it through a clear glass container, and you might see some speckles in there, and that is some filtration. Some people, they might not have good eyesight, or they might not have proper lighting and not see it. So that could possibly be true. But the filtration is it coming out of the body. It's ejected from the body, so that's what the true filtration is. All right? And I know that I get comments all the time, people email me the comments and they say, "Oh my God, Mark, the best filtration I got was after I had a bowl of ice cream on my cheek," you know, and I just think, well, you're probably really, really moving lymph well. You've done a lot of work and you've had this, and you just shocked the kidneys, and now you're moving that lymphatic waste that you put in right out through the body. It could be just in total shock and kicked up some stuff, or you're so pure that you're just running that crap out of the body. You know, I've been doing lots of watermelon and grapes and still only getting itsy bitsy teeny weeny bit of sediment. Okay, so yeah, have you done the lymphatic herbs? Have you done the kidney herbs? How's your adrenal function? Things like that. You have to work on all that to get going. I like to know where your adrenals are. Take your blood pressures. When you come next week, Kelly, we can do your blood pressures here. But yeah, if you got some filtration, you could kick up the kidney herbs. I'm sorry, the lymphatic herbs. Okay, and Dr. Morse has good formulas. Plantain is really good at moving it. Chaparral is really good. Just go look at his lymphatic formulas. You'll see some things in there that can really help. Do more astringent fruits. Do more lemons. Try lemon fast. Watermelon should get you going though. So could be weak adrenals. Yeah, we'll check out your blood pressures next week and see how you're doing. Okay. How long does a healing crisis usually last? Harrison wants to know. Boy, that's the $1 million question. Well, a true healing crisis I've found can last anywhere from a couple of days to kind of as long as a cold and flu can last. But if you're real sick, I mean, it can go on and on and on. But I would say usually as long as a cold or a flu will last is probably a good indicator. You can have a mini one. Sometimes when you first go on this and you're doing the parasite M, you could have a die-off. Okay, you come in, you're killing a bunch of parasites in the body, microparasites, funguses, candidas, all that. So you could have a mini die-off and have just a small, 1, 2, 3 day healing crisis. But I would say, yeah, as long as a cold and flu lasts is probably a good gauge there. So Kelly says, no, I do need to do some herbs. You can tell me what to do, and yes, do my BP and my eyes. Okay, hey, that's good. We'll do your eyes too. Let's do that. We'll do an eye reading as well. So Kelly's gonna be our guinea pig next week. All right, great. Because she's been so helpful to us. We're gonna help her. So we're gonna do Kelly, go to my site, do a health questionnaire, okay? And we'll do a picture of your eyes, and we're gonna actually write you some protocols next week. All right? We're gonna do a full protocol on you. Okay? So, anyways, I wanted to tell you guys that I heard an interview with Dr. Morse. I don't know when it was. It looked pretty recent, but he, he talks about people hold him to very high standards, and he doesn't like that. He's a human being. He doesn't judge you. Doesn't want to be judged, right? And I heard him talk about. I finally got the answer. Everybody wants to know what he eats and all that kind of stuff. Not that it really matters, But he says, look, no matter what, you got something serious, 100% fruit, no ifs, ands, or buts. Get on it, hit it hard, get up there as quick as you can. All right. But his maintenance, what he does is he says he's 80% raw and 20% cooked. So he does eat some cooked foods. All right. So he's not Mr. Raw. He's not Mr. 100% fruit. And I've been criticized too. My birthday's coming up again next month. And last year I said I'm going to be cheating. And I posted pictures of hot dogs and hamburgers and French fries and chocolate malts and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't realize, but a lot of people were getting angry with me. They said I wasn't real. I wouldn't be cheating like that if I was a real person and really, really preaching the gospel of detox and all that. So, and raw. So a lot of raw food has got down on me, but I went ahead had some cooked food anyways. So I don't want to be perfect. And Dr. Morse said he was a perfectionist for a long time, and he didn't want to be that anymore. So so he's 20% cooked. I'll have to look at the date on this video, but I thought it was interesting that he was honest about that and wasn't trying to hold up this fake sort of, image for everybody. All right. So Anyways, if you're detoxed, if you're feeling good and all that, a little cooked is not going to hurt you. And 80% raw is a really, really great number. That's amazing. So good. All right. But the high levels, of course, of healing and regeneration are done with the 100% fruit or close to that. Okay. And he had mentioned Hilton Hotema, otherwise known as George Clements, saying oranges are the perfect food. So, anyways, just thought I'd throw that in. And Dr. Morse was on high oranges for I think 49 days, and had to get off them because he was so spiritually lifted that he was out of body. Okay, Kelly. Okay, thank you. We'll help other people too. Cool. Wow. Awesome sauce. Okay. All right, good, 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 good. Anyways, so I wanted to talk a little bit about doctors. I have no problem with doctors. I really don't. They're doing their thing that they were trained to do, and I think a lot of them really, really, want to do good. But they're more like auto repairmen. You come to the shop, you say you got this issue, and they kind of fix it. They don't tell you how to drive the car. They don't tell you how to avoid accidents. They don't tell you what gas to put in the car or what oil, how many times to change the oil. All these things that kind of relate to what we're talking about, how to maintain the car. We're talking about how to maintain the body. And we're talking about how to run the body properly with the proper fuel and all these things. And they're not interested in changing the system, all right, because they're benefiting from the system, all right. And no matter how much money you have, you will always find shortages. In other words, let's say a doctor's making $300,000 a year, right? He's probably got, he probably wants to be in the nicest country club, so he's got country club dues. He's probably got his children in some of the best private schools he can afford. He's probably got the best home he can afford. He's probably got a second home, a vacation home he can afford. And maybe has an alimony payment, whatever. It always seems to kind of, there's always a shortage, So he's not interested in changing the system that's feeding him, all right? He's committed, all right? So don't go to the doctors, and ask them to change the system. You have to change the system. Like they say about Gandhi, you have to be the change you want to see in the world, okay? So I just want to throw that in at you, okay? All right, so Alzam. Hello, Mark. Glad to join the session. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Should I worry about B12 on a detox? I don't worry about B12 myself. And Steve Factor, who comes on once a month, he'll be here right around July 4th. He talked about how he doesn't wash his fruits and veggies because he doesn't want to wash the B12 off of that. So I guess if you know the source and it's organic and all that kind of stuff, I guess the B12 comes from the bacteria in the soil and all that kind of stuff. I don't worry about it myself. I haven't found an issue with it. Dr. Morse always talks about he doesn't like isolates. He doesn't want isolated chemistry. So if you're thinking about taking a B12 supplement where it's sort of a chemical B12 and not a holistic B12, then I don't know. I don't worry about it myself, and I haven't had an issue with it. I have tons of energy. I feel great. I keep going into deeper levels of this detoxification. I just feel better and better and better, not worse and worse and worse. I suppose if I felt like I was losing some energy and things like that, I'd start looking at these things. But being high raw has not been a problem, so I don't worry about it. I don't get blood tests, so I don't know. If my B12 levels are low or not, but I don't worry about it myself personally. And I've never heard of Dr. Morse say to supplement with B12. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. What do you think about a grapefruit fast? Seems unusual. I think they're fine. Grapefruits are super detoxifying. They're super alkalizing. They're one of the acid fruits, which are the most alkalizing, the most astringent. So they're powerful. If you can handle it, grapefruits are not my favorite thing. They really make me pucker a lot. They're like a big lemon. So I would prefer something sweet myself, like oranges. I love oranges. They're super powerful too. Watermelons are super powerful. Grapes are super powerful, but grapefruits are not my choice. But let us know how you do on that. Maybe you have a big grapefruit tree in the backyard and you want to give it a try. Um, let's see how you do. Yeah, it does seem unusual, but you know, I learn something new every day. Let us know. Yeah. How long have you been doing the high fruit raw food? I've been doing high fruit for, I would say, about, gosh, time flies so fast. I'd say about a year and a half. I've been on raw for probably 2.5, 3 years. Like I say, I came to this through getting rid of. I came to this through the celiac route. I had blood tests done. It showed me all the foods I was allergic to because I had the fibromyalgia. So I went to a doctor who was also um, she was a psychiatrist, an MD, and a natural, not a naturopath, but it was into some natural things too. So anyway, she told me to get a food panel done. I did, and I was gluten intolerant, allergic to dairy, wheat, um, eggs, all kinds of things like that. So once I cut that out, great things started to happen, and then I started moving more into the raw, more into the vegetable kingdom, and then finally into the fruit kingdom. So yeah, as far, my level of fruit has been going up and up and up. So I would do runs of, say, I'd go 80% fruit for a while, then I'd stop, okay, and then go more back to the veggies and things like that. So what seems to be happening now, Kelly, is that I'm going more high fruit all the time, and they're not just using it for kind of, I call it going into the ring. So yeah, it keeps ramping up. I was gonna talk about that. I was talking about something personal, and I've been having a hard time lately eating salads. And I'll go and I'll buy these veggies, and a lot of them go bad. I'm just not craving them. So the longer I've been doing this, the more I'm craving the fruit. And it's the weirdest thing. I want to have my salads. I want to have those big salads because I feel like, it's great to keep, just keep the body strength up and getting all those different minerals in the salads and all that. But I'm just not craving it. So, yeah, I'm just naturally on high fruit, even though I'm not, necessarily detoxing right now. So high fruit is becoming, ingrained into me as part of my diet. What happens is that when I do eat the veggies, I do get an energy drop, and I just don't feel like I'm burning as clean. So yeah, I'm naturally moving to higher fruit. I think also, I think you get addicted to, it's a higher consciousness, if you will. It's purer thoughts, it's higher thoughts, it's, and I'm kind of a channel for healing, if you will. I'm not the healer, but I'm a channel for this healing energy that comes through me. I know that sounds a bit esoteric and weird, but I really feel this moving through me, and I hope it translates to you guys. I'm getting more compassion and more empathy, and just becoming a clearer source of information for you guys. And I feel that as I go higher and higher fruit all the time, that channel opens up more. Okay, so I'm done being weird. I'm gonna stop. But all right, so I did okay. Uh, I did a watermelon fast for about 4 days, if that counts as a fast. Sure, it does, absolutely. And my problem was I never felt like drinking water, but my kidneys were filtering them. Yeah, fruit, especially watermelons, are so high in water, you guys. You don't need. I drink very little water myself. Fruit is so hydrating. It's so full of hydration. It's so full of water. Fruit is full of what's called structured water. It's the type of water that really transfers into the cells deeply. And some say it's like 3 to 5 times as hydrating as just regular water. So you're getting really a lot of hydration through the fruit. So drink when you're thirsty, and chances are, if you're not living in a super hot, dry climate, or sweating a lot, you're not going to need a lot of water. Okay, but I'm glad you're getting filtration. That's wonderful. Me too. I'm not wanting salads the more I do high fruit. Isn't that strange? Yeah. It's really it's a strange shift that's happening. I used to crave salads. I used to be hungry. You know, when I was first transitioning into all this, I used to be really super hungry and just missing food. You know, missing the solid, you know, sandwiches and things like that. You know, and having real meals. You know, feeling I needed real meals. You know, cooking up a storm and having all the things. You know, the meat and potatoes and all that stuff and you know the heaviness was what I felt I needed, but I don't need that anymore. And now even salads are heavy, so it's just a byproduct of this. I think it's wonderful myself. So all right, before I would chug down 4 liters of green tea, oolong tea, and white tea, but the quality of these teas was very low. So you're looking for stimulation. See, this is the problem. When your adrenals are weak and your glands are down, you're trying to stimulate it through chemistry, okay? What you want is you want to cleanse and you want to detox and you want to get those glands back up naturally and rebalance them naturally, and the herbs will do that. I know that tea is an herb, but you're getting the caffeine as a stimulant, which is not recommended. Having a little bit of caffeine is not a big deal. If you're trying to do a serious detox, get off the coffee and teas, though. But I still enjoy I love the taste of coffee. I only have 1 cup, but I enjoy it. When I'm doing a serious detox, no, you don't want it. It's too much acids. You want all the kidney power you can get. You want all the lymph alkalization you can get your hands on. Okay. Um, okay. Yes, you do absolutely uh, reach higher states of consciousness and sensitivity, the cleaner your system becomes. Yeah, happening for me too. It's really our natural state that we lost due to congestion. It's so true. You know, by doing this, you return to your natural state of mind, which is really wonderful. And not judging meat eaters, but I will say that when I stopped eating meat, that took me to a whole new level of consciousness, a whole new level of empathy. I now see meat as murder, as I saw on a painted on the side of a freeway. Meat is murder. It truly is. I mean, what we're really going down to a low level of consciousness as eating meat, and not to judge because I was a meat eater for most of my life. And but anyways, meat is too high protein. Anyways, it hits the kidneys too hard. It hits the GI tract too hard. It causes acidosis, shuts down filtration. It damages the tissues of the kidneys and of the bowels. It's not for us. We're not designed for it. It's not for us. Okay. So the quicker you get off of it, the better you're gonna be. All right. So if anybody has any last second questions, I think we're gonna shut this baby down. I really appreciate everybody showing up, and I hope you guys learned a lot. We had some great questions. There's some really long questions, which is kind of neat, and a lot of people, really, coming into this. We have a lot of new people joining this. It's always good to just keep it simple. That's why I always start out with my little speech there, just on simplicity. So some comments coming in here. Yep, the animals sense it too. We're more connected with them. That's true. Yeah, I think I think animals know if you're an animal eater or not. I mean, this little one here, just I tell you, man, we are so connected, and I think she appreciates me not eating meat, even though she is a meat eater. So. Um, I know that some people have vegan dogs, so I want to move her in that direction. But I'm going to try and find that vegan dog food again. But do you think going raw could get rid of cysts on my legs? Yeah, if you tune in, you might have just come late to this, Tabitha. But we just had a woman in the beginning of this video. She talks about getting rid of a cyst in her groin area on high fruit, and it only took 2 months without surgery or anything. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. Legs are tough. It's my problem. You got to go more vertical. And guys, I started standing on my head. Okay, I'm doing headstands now up against the wall, and I'm trying to flip the body upside down to drain. I got to work more on my legs. My feet are acidic. I know it, and my legs are too. I've lost the hair on my legs, so a lot of it. So I know that's acidosis. We all have weak spots, you guys. We just have to get off our butts and go after these areas. You know, even though you're doing an overall lymph system detox, there still are some sticky spots that you can really address by doing the inversions, by doing the skin brushing, hot and cold packs, you know, just things like that to help. Okay. So yeah, we'll see you guys all next week, and thank you for showing up. Thanks for all your questions, and keep up the good work, everybody. It's summertime. Happy solstice. Happy full moon. And this 3 months of summer, let's just power down the fruit. Get your hands on the most high quality fruits you can. Make sure it's ripe. Buy organic if you can. If you can't, veggie wash the heck out of it, and enjoy your fruit. And make those great frozen fruit treats. And we'll see you all next week with Kelly. Kelly's going to be here next week. We're going to do a full protocol on her. We're going to read her eyes. We're going to look at her health questionnaire, if she allows us to divulge her information. And we're gonna write her some protocols. And then the week after that, we got Steve Factor coming back. So have a great week, you guys, and happy detoxing. Bye bye.